first of all, it's exciting to know we're talking about 2 projects with you today. Let's start with Elio. Tell me everything you can. Who is Olga? Why will audiences love her?
Olga is this person that basically believed that she had her entire life planned out until the irony of life, the unimaginable happens, and she's inherited her nephew. You know, she has to sort of find out how to be a mom, even though she was never planning on doing that because she was so committed to her career. And she's navigating, you know, her sense of loss after losing her brother and navigating Elio's loss as well after losing his parents.
Talk to me a little bit about this experience. Was being a part of a Pixar movie something that you'd always wanted to do? Was this something that you thought, okay, well, let's see how this goes?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would say the latter. I've always been like, let me just jump into the unknown and then we'll figure things out afterwards. As long as you're following your heart. As a mom, it's very important that I align myself with projects that my kids can see today, as opposed to waiting for them to be older.
Yeah.
And I've voiced many more projects I've voiced many projects in the past, and they've managed to sort of, you know, like they've watched it and they're kind of proud. So Elio was definitely aligned with that.
Incredible. Now, you have done pretty much every type of project under the sun. VO, motion capture, you're singing, there's action. Is there a favorite? Is there any sort that resonates most with you or that you feel most at home in?
Everything.
She's like, I do it all.
I do it all. And I'm not really a person that has had a plan. I think that if I would have been that person, I don't know if I would have been here, because sometimes you set up unrealistic expectations for yourself. But when you wake up every day trying to be a better version of yourself than you were yesterday, that means that whatever the day may bring, as long as you're tapped into your heart and you make decisions with an open heart and open mind, I feel like that can never really be wrong. And I do things that make me happy that I would want to watch as a consumer. Now, like I said, now that I'm a mom, I do things now for my children. And to get major mom points with them, so I think it's super cool. And obviously, I always do things for the sake of art. I think that art is important, especially when times become very difficult. The artist becomes a true historian of times, and I think it's really important to tap into that.
Beautifully said, and so true. Avatar 3, also, we're so excited about this. What can you tell us? I know maybe not much, but give me something, Zoe.
Well, I heard Jim isn't here in the building. Okay,
no.
So listen.
So this is what happened.
This is what happened.
All of it.
No, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be full of heart. I know that Way of Water was full of heart. The way that Way of Water ended for the Sully family was absolutely devastating. The unimaginable occurred to this family. And Jim, followed the natural successions of what a family experiencing loss would go through. And so Jake and Neytiri are going to be tested as different characters. You know, for Neytiri, her tests have everything to do with the fact that she fell in love with someone that comes from an environment that she absolutely detests, and she has children with them, and how does she reconcile with that and learn to really love unconditionally, because her children and her husband are her favorite people, but her planet is compromised, everything that she believes in is compromised. So that is going to be very conflicting. Her arc is very powerful, but so is Jake's, and so is the rest of the Sully children, along with this amazing cast. I think that Jim really gave us a beautiful saga that has all the feels, and I'm gonna take his word for it. You know, he's said before, I'm not saying anything he hasn't said.
Yeah, okay, yes, this is all out.
Where he truly believes that Fire and Ash is the most emotional of all the films of Avatar, and I'm really going to take his word for it, because he pushed Sam and I to imagine the unimaginable, and we're parents, and for us to be able to experience these feelings of loss for Jake and Neytiri, it was absolutely devastating for both Sam and I. But I'm as somebody that loves Sam as his sister, and I witnessed him give an amazing performance. I hope he has the same thing to say about me.
I'm sure he does.
It was a very heartfelt journey for for the Sullies.
Incredible. And both of these projects, obviously we're here at CinemaCon. We're celebrating the movie-going experience, film in general. Why are these perfect to watch in the theater? Why should we leave the house, pack up the car, and see it in the movie theater?
I think, first of all, I would love to say something about that. I hope that the movie experience becomes affordable again for American families, because movie going is such a staple of American culture. And that's why Hollywood is the golden industry for cinema for the rest of the world. And I feel like we can sustain that if the movie experience becomes affordable again. That's important to note. It is wonderful because it brings multi-generational family households together. And you're able to have an experience where it's not just the story that's compelling. It's the sound of the movie theater. It's the smell of the popcorn. It's getting those seats, when you arrive on time and sitting at, in the row that you love.
Get your perfect spot.
And connecting with strangers that you wouldn't that you wouldn't otherwise connect with. That kind of commonality, I don't think any other experience provides that for families. And I do believe it's important for us to preserve that, but it just has to be affordable.
Amen. You are just one of the most chic and soulful humans I ever get to sit and talk with.
Mom,
So
did you
thank
hear that?
I can affirm. Thank you so much, Zoe.
Thank you.